We're live.
We're live.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Michelle and I are here to do some live readings, but we got to wait for the room to fill up. So if you're watching the replay, then just stay for the messages. And if you're coming in for the live, stay for the possibility of possibly a reading. So I'm just bringing up on my phone as well so I can see here. I always chuckle at this after because I realize I'm like trying to look at you in the camera, like on the screen, like I can actually look at you is what I feel like I'm trying to look at Michelle.
That's funny.
I know, right? Hello, Tracy and Felicia. Hello.
Hello, hello.
My phone as well, so I can see.
Oh, it's like way behind.
I'm like, is that you?
Hi, Lindsay, MJ.
Hello, MJ. Carlene and Lindsay. Hello. Oh, look at this new growth. Look at this new growth that was standing up on my head. Look at that.
Oh, perfect. A little sprout.
I'm like a little sprout. Life feels like it's full of little freaking sprouts. Hello, Ashley. Merry Christmas.
Judy,
hello. Okay, so the room's slowly filling up here. I was just bringing up on my phone. So for those who don't know, this is Michelle Gibson, and Michelle is she is the face and the owner of Angelic Realm Healing, and she is a lifer, friend, and sister, soul sister. And she is also a psychic medium. So she's joining me tonight and a card reader, and she's everything. She knows all about the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, and she is certified in all things more than existing and all things Everyday Goddess and all things. So she is joining us tonight so that we can do some readings for people. I promised I'd come back. And I have not been able to get back in between the Christmas to do readings. I wasn't here the other night. And we had a beautiful conversation in here the other night, but we're here tonight to actually do some readings for people. So we're going to be pulling some cards. We've been pulling out some old decks. Yeah, we've been pulling out some old decks tonight and playing around with some old decks of cards. And one is a real old deck of cards. And it's the original of you probably don't even want me to even mention her name, but from when Doreen Virtue was in this world of this kind of work. And it's the fairies. It's about the fays. And so this was the original. And I actually found it at Castaways, the thrift store here in town. And I couldn't leave it behind, even though I have like 3 decks, but I had to bring it home. And so, yes. And so if you would like a card, if you would like for us to pull a card for you to receive a message or reading tonight, and whatever we got, whatever comes through, then you can post below for us.
I pulled a Doreen Virtue too.
Look at that.
Yeah, because I'm like, I got another old deck here. I'm sure of it. I got them all over the house, but got a couple. And call it Aaron Reed.
And that's the original. That's my original call it. No, I don't think that's my original. That's not true.
This is the very first deck Corrie told me to get.
Yeah,
this is my very first deck.
That is your first deck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Hello, Ellen, Lexi,
and now I tell people to get my deck.
Yes. Hi, Stacy. I think your deck is in my room.
I have my deck. Hello, Ellen and Stacy and Lexi and Alexandra and Sonia. Who else are we seeing in here? Patricia is up top. Carmen. Hello, everyone.
Kim. Adriana. Marie. Carmen.
Hello, hello. All right. Oh, Adriana's here. Danielle. Wow, we have Madonna here and Kim. And Jessica. I'm like leaning in just like And yes, I am in my jogging pants. Like,
Perfect.
yep, yep. I'm having one of those days.
That's all right. Tis
One of
the
them,
season.
one of them days. One of them days. Okay. So we are going to start. Do we want to do a? Do we want to do an opener card?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do an opener card. So this is a collective card. So collective reading means it's for everyone. Collective energy is the it's the world's energy. It's the world. It's the energy that's already here on Earth and that we build up. And so yeah. So we're going to do a feather. Just a little white feather just went.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yay, yeah. All right.
All right.
You
I have
want?
one. Do you want me
Yep.
to start?
Yep. No, I'm waiting for you. You go.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So, collective card I have, this is from Doreen Virtue's Saints and Angels. Pray. So, I'm kind of hearing that this word triggers some people. Some people don't like to pray. They feel like it's to the religion part of things. So, you can put it into words like wishes or hopes and dreams, however you want to see it. But in order for us to receive from the universe, we have to be able to do the praying or the asking and to receive. So definitely starting to put out your wishes and your wants into the world and feeling those wishes and wants as if they've happened, because the universe will match your vibration and you need to bring your vibration to exactly as if it's happened. So I'm getting kind of like a manifesting, like praying to help manifest things. People are wanting to manifest things. There's big shifts and changes, and everybody is kind of tired of what has been going on in the world, and we're ready for something new. So when we pray, we also raise the earth's vibration as well. And it is growing and getting stronger every day now. And we are to keep adding to that. So definitely putting out all these dreams, hopes, wishes, praying for your loved ones, all that kind of stuff. Don't be scared to do it. Don't be shy to do it. And don't think it's silly, because we all do it. Not all of us, but a lot of us do it.
Okay, and I pulled the inner child from the original of the fairies deck. And so this is in the fairies, this is in the mystical and the magical. And one thing about inner child work and inner child healing is about allowing ourselves to step back into play, into nurturing those needs and not ignoring or neglecting ourselves and our own personal needs. And so the neglected little child, the neglected little inner child, is always wanted or needed that attention. Well, also, if you think about you, if you think about who you are today and the life you live, are you giving yourself the love and attention that you need? Are you paying attention to those needs? And I did a radio show today. My radio show is on News for the Soul Radio, and in my show I talked about being alone and being lonely, and there's a big difference. And this season I've spent a lot of time alone, and so children often feel alone. The house can be full, but it feels alone because they feel very misunderstood. They feel like no one's listening because they're not being taken serious. It's like they don't they get discounted. Well, that same hurt follows through life, and we carry that through. But we can't see it through the eyes of the child who once was, but to acknowledge that we still have needs and we still have wants, and we have to nurture those hurts and those wounds is a big part of where we are right now. So it's so easy now to move into, oh well, the new year is coming. Let's set another freaking goal. We're going to fail. Let's put ourselves on another diet called shaming ourselves into getting into shape. Let's do all of those things, but let's ignore the important thing. And this is where it's about making the healing priority, because the healing is what leads to new perspectives, that leads to healthier choices. And so they're kind of come in, and they're it's how can we live a more playful life and be able to embody with kindness and compassion what it is that we really need to nurture within ourselves. That's what we're opening up with. Okay. Have you got a person chosen out of this? You have a message coming in.
Where did you go? Kim Coleman came to mind here.
Kim Coleman.
Are you still here? Hello, Anne. Rose.
And Rose and Marie and
Craig.
Craig and Sharon. I think everyone else we've said hello to.
Kim Coleman, are you still here? There
Yeah.
she is. Okay. All right, Kim.
Roberta. Anything is helpful, she says.
Well, there's definitely some.
I was going to say the cards are jumping everywhere, Kim.
Yeah, I need to, and I need a third one to this here. Okay. All right. So what I have for you is I have card number 11, and it's by the book. So I'm hearing there's a lot of conditioning, and that it's almost like there's an OCD in there. I'm getting an OCD vibe, like everything has to be by the book. It has to be done a certain way. And then I have building blocks. So, you keep taking the building blocks and you keep building them in the by the book ways. But what I'm seeing is like Jenga. And then all of a sudden somebody pulls out that one and everything collapses again. And you're frustrated as hell and you got to keep building up again. You're building again. And then the third card, I looked at the bottom of the deck and I have here and now. You're really being pulled to come into the here and now because your by the book is so future orientated, and it's that hasn't been written yet, and you're being pulled back, and you're actually being told to restack those building blocks in a different way, setting the foundation maybe a little bit wider, a little bit longer, so that it is more stable as opposed to skinny and narrow up like the Jenga game. So coming back and bringing yourself really back into the here and now and dealing with what is happening at the moment and realizing that that's all you got right now. We don't have what just happened 5 minutes ago, and we don't have what's going to happen 5 minutes from now as is. So definitely coming back into the here and now and enjoying what is in front of you now and enjoying building that foundation so that everything could be a lot more stable, because I feel like you keep getting like a setback. So something comes and then there's another setback, but it's because you're not dealing with now, you're dealing with tomorrow. And so you have to kind of being very present and building on this moment. So you can build on this moment for maybe the next few seconds and just kind of, that's what it is. Sorry. Taking it small steps. So small steps instead of throwing all these blocks together and trying to build your dream way too big. And it has little gaps in it. So the holes are in there, like the Jenga game, you can see through the holes. So a lot of things are not coming together because they're not compounded together. They're loosely put together. And that's what keeps giving you the setback.
Okay. And so I pulled problem solved, problem resolved. So the problem is already resolved. You may just not like all of the way that things have been resolved, because there is a huge difference in our wants and our needs. So what I wrote was the problem is resolved. You just may not be happy or like the solution or the way things have been resolved. And so when life puts us through changes and we go through changes, it's like there's issues in our lives. We have anxiety. We're not happy. We have problems. we have discord, conflict, and then when the change happens and the way it happens, we're like, well, I didn't like that, or I don't want that, because you weren't in control of it. And because you weren't in control of those changes, you don't like the answer. You don't like what you got, but you needed something different. So life is trying to give you something different, but a piece and a part of you keeps going back to what once was. So it's like you're always trying to rebuild on the same broken foundation, but you have to view it differently. You have to see things in a different light. And so you've already come through something. You're already through the gates, the doors of the change. And so the card that I pulled was rebirth and purity. And so you can still grieve the past, but still be moving into accepting the solutions. You can be still going through. You can be um, concerned about what's to come, but also still enthusiastic about what's to come. But you're going through it. You're already through that part of it. So the problem has been resolved. You just may not like that it's not you organizing and arranging all the parts of it, because you have the issue with change. But change is happening with or without you. Change is always happening. Change is happening every second. And so the other card that I pulled was Stop the Excuses. This is from my Want to Know a Secret to a Life of More Than Existing, and it's card number 4. Stop the excuses and explanations. Your bliss doesn't depend on the opinions of others. It's all about how you feel about yourself. So it's about you creating a feeling around your sense of succeeding in life, that you are succeeding, that you are living, you're successfully moving forward. And like I said, it's the ego that keeps us in the problem that has already been resolved. So we keep asking, but why, but why, but why? When we're going through a change. Well, because you said something wasn't right or something wasn't working. So life takes us in a new direction. So now you're moved into a new direction. So you've got the solution. What you do on the other side, the solution is going to matter to you. But when you're so caught up in needing the validation and approvals or the opinions of others to decide whether or not you're successful, you're happy, you're joyful, then you are looking to everyone else to create something that is yours to create. And so it's all about what you feel and about how you feel about yourself. And so really look at it from a new perspective. And when you look at it from a new perspective, you're going to see things very differently, Kim. And that's what I got for you. And hello, everyone who's joining. All right. Okay, so I had this song before I came in, and I can't play the song, but I was playing it for Michelle, but I can't play the song in here. So because we're not allowed to play music. So I had the song originally belonged to Nine Inch Nails, but Johnny Cash sang the song. And Johnny Cash sang the song. It is called Hurt. And I'm hearing it in the Johnny Cash version of the song Hurt. It was after his wife had passed, and it was Johnny, right? But you mean he died, what, 6 months after his wife had died? So he sang this song, and he's to a piano, but I hear it in that version. So I have somebody coming through who very much is connected to the Johnny Cash, but really in his era, in his time, but also followed him through until his death, and very much tied to there. And it's the song Hurt, and it's very specific. The song is Hurt. And so if someone here is connected to that, or that resonates with you, and you got like little goosies and you feel like it's for you, please comment, because I'm seeing this come in. And then I had somebody tell me, and I'm going to say this, and this sounds, and a gun was involved in their death, and there was a gun involved in their death, and I feel like it was some sort of shooting. And that song is also that message is also coming, but I don't know if they're connected together. It's just two big predominant messages that I have, and it's coming in the way of, this person said to me, like, I shot myself. Like, that's exact words they gave me. And I don't like using that language in that way, but that's what they told me. So I don't know if the music and this person go together or if I have two different messages. So if we have someone who passed away, who died, who unalive themselves, I guess is the language people are using kind of now, but that's not the language this person is using. They're not using that language. They're very matter of fact with this message they're giving me. I don't know where they belong, but I was sitting here and they came flying in with this. And then, like I said, the Johnny Cash music. So My Empire of Dirt. Yes, Mandy, that's exactly the song. Um, and so I'm just looking, does it's my favorite song. Yeah, it's not, it's coming from the other side though. It's yeah, it is Lexi, I agree. It's like it's an incredible song. And so the gun wouldn't be for me. Johnny might. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going with this because I feel like whoever this is with Johnny. So whoever this is with Johnny, they would have been someone who seen Johnny as like a legend, a legacy, and they followed them from like young years to old years, and that is coming up constantly here. Um, I'm going to come back to the shooting because I don't know if they actually resonate. Let me just see. Um, my father-in-law died from a gun accident. He was alone. Um, Rihanna, my dad passed that way. Okay, so are either one of those connected to having a um, tied to tied to music, tied to Johnny Cash, like country, old country. This is old world country. Um, oh, interesting, Patricia. Oh, okay. Candace. So your father-in-law was a musician. Okay. And did he play like old country music? Like old country music. And so there was, so okay, I'm going to go to Candace for a minute. So Candace, he accidentally shot himself. Was that what happened? Because he tells me he shot himself. Like there was some sort of shooting, some sort of like shot himself, and a gun was involved in it. Um, he played in a band. Okay. I got him. I got him. So Candace, this is connecting to you. Um, and so, yeah, okay. All right. So I'm like, I feel like I'm really connecting this to you. I just got this level of like excitement that we connected it, that it made it happen. And not that he was in pain, it's not that he was suffering, but he brings up the song Hurt. And he does talk about he is talking about the hurt or the pain that was left behind with his shooting or with his passing. Like in that passing, he died this way, and he tells me that he was very um like this was his passion, right? Like this was his passion, his love, and it was music, and he wanted to bring in the music. um his name was Bruce. Okay. All right, Bruce. Now, I feel like he was more of a legend behind his instruments and his singing than he would have been. Like he was a man of not as many words when he was by like in his everyday life. He feels like he's an introvert and an extrovert. And he's kind of back and forth, but he also has he also has um son with him, son with him. He also has son with him, and there's son is with him. He has a son with him, and his son is with him. Lots and lots of pain when he left us. Yes, right. And it feels like like he knew what he left behind, but he didn't try to die. Like he wasn't looking to leave. He wasn't looking to die. But he does have a son with him, and there's like several people who are predominantly in this circle with him. So I don't know if there's also like another musician he played with that is also there with him. I feel like we're in I feel like we're in a barn. Like I feel like we're in like some sort of like I can feel like or I can smell like this like cedar wood. Like I'm smelling cedar wood or like that smoky cedar wood. Um oh, your husband. we knew a way to get husband here. Okay. And so they're, I get cedar. I have the smell of cedar wood, Candace. And they're just like, and so these men are like, they're like in a circle. Like I see them around, or they're around something. I feel like they're working on some projects. So I don't know if both these men were very talented. They both were. Your husband played music too. Okay. And this, for some reason, this time of the year really truly brings back like fresh wounds, like fresh, of course it would, it's the season, right? But it's some sort of like it feels fresh at this time of the year for you. You feel it fresh. But they're also telling you that some sort of celebration and being able to like, they're celebrating, or they're playing their music, they're having fun. And New Year's is coming up, so I guess that's probably when they would have been tied to playing. But the smell of wood, I can't get past the smell of the wood. And so I don't know if this is like a shed or a barn or somewhere where they would hang out, a workshop where they would hang out, or where they would gather. But I also have this strong smell of wood, of cedar, and I get that smell. And so I feel like they really just want you to know how surrounded you are. I don't have some big powerful message from them, but just the fact that, well, I mean, I can't get any more powerful than they literally gave me music. And they gave me like piano, keyboards, like I want to say, like washboards almost. Like, and so I don't know, there's a very distinctive sound that I'm also getting. So I don't know if someone also played like accordion or steel guitar. And I keep getting like that, like a, I mean, of course, my husband is a musician. He plays drums, but I'm like, there's something that feels like I can hear a different tone, or a different sound that's coming out. It's a different sound that's coming. Yes, both talented, always building stuff, always celebrating, always enjoying life. My husband worked with wood, red cedar, and what red cedar was his favorite. Oh, I saxophone. Okay. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, it is different. It's not like a guitar. It's not like like it's different. It's different. I can hear the different tones. Saxophone. Thank you. I'm like, there's a different note that is singing through to me. And I couldn't grasp it, but it's definitely a different note. And they're kind of chuckling at me because I'm trying to bring this from spirit world to here. And I'm sweating. Like, there is so much love, and there is so much joy, and there is so much energy, and I feel like they're really inviting you to really step into the circle of joy, is what I feel like they're bringing you. And I just feel like you finding joy and happiness in your life is what really makes them happy. And they just needed you to know that. They need you to know that they are with you. They're with you through all. So there you go, Candace. There's no card to this. This is what you get. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll hopefully I'll come back to some of the other ones that are here as well. So don't leave. You just never know what else will come. But I know that's for Candace because I'm on fire. When it hits, there's like, I sweat. I feel the healing, because mediumship is actually about healing, and it's about us evolving. And the more that we step into our mediumship and working through the power, is the more that we evolve and heal in ourselves. And so our mediumship evolves, our mediumship grows. It is not a circus act. It is not like that. It's an evolution. And so when we know we're in the power, we can feel it. It is a light, and that light pulsates, and we can feel that pulsating light and the movement, and their light connects to that. So that's how I always know when it hits the right person. Michelle.
Just as you were starting, this is funny, just as you were starting to speak. So I don't know if this is related to Candace as well, but I heard the song, na, 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 hey, 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 goodbye. And I'm showing somebody who dressed up as Elvis. And so not only that song comes in, but there's definitely the love for Elvis going on here too. Maybe it's musician night.
I guess we got the musicians tonight. Makes sense to me. I'm like, We need some joy in here.
Right? I feel like this person, though, maybe not so much band-like, but did like lip singing of Elvis. So was like kind of impersonating Elvis. I don't know if that resonates with anybody else. And I do have 2 cards that go with that too. So definitely somebody who dressed up as Elvis and would go do little shows. I don't know if that's any of you guys.
So does any of the other ones that are here, do you have the connection to Elvis? Are you feeling the connection to it? Was there
Impersonator.
Yeah, was this someone who like either looked like Elvis, impersonated Elvis, or sang Elvis songs? If that could be a whole nother message.
Yes. Could be somebody else.
And so if that is you, if it's connecting to someone else here, then do jump in and just, because we'll know when it hits.
Yeah.
We'll know when it hits.
I'm being told to push these cards aside right now too. So
okay.
And that song, na 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 na, hey hey, goodbye. What is the name of that song, anyways?
I don't know, but don't sing it again because we're going to get flagged.
Yeah.
Madonna says, my mom loved Elvis.
No, it's this person impersonated.
It's like they had the Elvis look, right?
And they had the white flared pantsuit.
So this is a man. This is definitely right. So yeah, so this is definitely a man who's coming through that either had the look of Elvis, lived in the time of Elvis, wore probably more the Elvis glasses, wore the Elvis hairstyle, wore the chops, right? I had an uncle who named all of his kids after Elvis. No, that's not it. That's not who she got. No. That's funny, Sandra.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Stay with us though, because we never know where this is going. So I do
not Hey Jude. No, not that song. I don't think that's Hey Jude. No, it's not.
No.
All right. Well, let's keep moseying on. I'm going to leave those out for a minute. Some more things might come in. Maybe somebody's just a slower typer.
Okay. So who are you picking up to read?
Lexi McDonald. Lexi McDonald, are you still here?
Lexi, are you still here with us?
I also live in an apartment building, so who knows? It could be anybody. Hello, Christopher. Lexi, you're still here. All right. No, it's a man. Definitely a man. All right, Lexi.
So Christy says, my son, 11 years old, has been in love with Elvis ever since he was born. He has dressed up several times and has been on the stage with playing Dunn, the Elvis impersonator. Oh my God, my son is living though, so I don't think it's him that you're getting. It might, no, it might be connected. No, okay.
It's definitely a man.
All right. This happens to Michelle all the time. I'm just going to tell you this.
Yeah, it does.
So when Michelle works with me at live events, so if you've been to an event in Alberta where you would have seen Michelle and I working together, every freaking time Michelle will lay out these most spectacular messages and nobody claims them. And then after they go, we get either the message or people come up and go, oh my God, I just know who this is. And I'm like, it always happens to Michelle. It's an ongoing joke that people just, I swear they intentionally do this to her to test her.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah. And thank God.
She's going to just try to make it fit.
Or she's just going to make this fit, because that's the whole key. We can't just make it fit. That's or else you can't create something out of nothing. All right. Go with Lexi.
All right, Lexi. Oh. All right. So I have got the card Chop Wood. chop wood. This card is, it's time to get to work. It's time to get to work. I'm hearing that a little bit more inner work has to be done on yourself. You have lost your connection to the higher power, because I have higher power in reverse. And then I also got for you here and now card as well. And I randomly had to pull cards like this. Like, I don't pull cards like this normally. I don't know what was making me do that, but it was like, it's time to do something a little different. Maybe that was exactly the message that has to come. So it's time to get to work. It's time to, chop the wood and stack it and start building. So again, this is another foundation thing. So it's going back to that foundation and building up again, but also with the connection of your higher power, your higher self, spirit, whatever you want to call it. So definitely sitting. So first card we had pray, right? So that is asking. And then speaking with your higher self or spirit is meditation and listening. So you're going to do the work. You're going to do the work on the self. You're going to pray, dream, hope, wish, whatever you want to say to that. But then you have to sit and listen to your higher self for a little bit extra guidance. So reconnecting and being in the here and now. So being in the here and now is very much, could be your breath, right? So that's what I'm hearing is when you're starting to jump too far ahead and that foundation, that stack of wood is kind of starting to get shaky again, you're to pull it back into now, and you're supposed to just do some deep breathing. So definitely learning breath work is what I'm hearing to help you to rebuild this foundation. I'm getting like a sense, the same thing, like there's been a setback. Something was moving ahead forward. You were trudging along and going along quite well. And then all of a sudden it's like something came and kind of knocked you on your butt and pulled you back. So definitely there's a big rebuild right now. I feel like you're like questioning things. You're really questioning things, kind of like what you've been told. And I just saw this card, music. Here's another music card. You too, and you're to listen to music. And music is coming through for you as a symbol of your loved ones are with you. So you've been hearing songs that remind you of people, and you've been hearing them a lot. And so those are your loved ones coming through. So you, not only your higher self, you can sit and, listen to what your loved ones have to tell you, or you can reminisce about, if you like, there's the situation that you're going through right now. I'm hearing grandma, you would talk to grandma and grandma would give you wisdom. So you can still talk to grandma and receive wisdom. It's just really sitting in the here and now, taking that breath and listening to the voices that are coming through to your head. So we do have voices in our head, I guess. We're not crazy. Those voices will never tell you to do any harm or anything like that. They will only tell you the good things and the things that you need to move forward in your life. So, girl, do some breath work and start listening. And yes, those music.
Hi, Mia.
Music.
Corey?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Corey forever.
Hi, you're on live too now.
Oh.
I love you.
I love you too.
So yes, so definitely coming back, taking that breath work and listening. You've got a lot of work to do, girl. I feel like there's a lot of work coming through for you, but it's going to be good. And listen to the songs and laugh and reminisce.
Okay, Lexi, I'm going to go quickly here because we have so many people I want to choose, but I'm like, I got the 7 of air and a revise of plans. I just feel like things are being reorganized in your life and reorganized in the energy, because what you would have wanted or what you would have done before is not really how you're going to do things in the future. And I wrote down this because I get this message that was coming through, and they bring up red, green, You know, the red green show, like, or whatever that red green show is, like red green. I'm like, I'm getting red green. And I'm like, why am I getting red green, Lexi? And I just start laughing. I'm like, do you duct tape things together? Are you like doing some temporary, like just putting things together with duct tape and just like temporary fixes, just patching things up? And I feel like it's like, you can't just patch shit up. You got to actually get to work. You actually got to fix things. And I fixed the door, and I keep seeing green. Yes, LOL. Okay. Yeah, and I'm like, I keep seeing green. So I don't know if you're painting a green picture or there's something being painted green. I keep seeing the walls green or a green door. I don't know what this is, but I keep getting fix the door. Fix the door. Whatever that means for you, fix the door. And I don't mean just patch it up, like fix the door. And so I don't know if there's like some hole in the doors or if it's just squeaky or what it is, but you have to fix the doors. And it just feels like you have to remember that you have to take care of the things that matter to you. And you have to also remember that the things that you have put around you have value. And that you have to be honest with yourself and just say, I've worked too hard for this, and I have to value the things that I do have and what is important to me, because you matter as much as everyone else matters. Ha ha. Fix it. You have no idea. Okay, so there is something with the door. You got it? Okay, I'm so glad you got it.
That's funny.
And so you know you're being watched over. You know they're there with you. So you are kind of getting your butt kicked a little bit into action. And yeah, and there is some things being revised. And the money that you need for something, I feel like you need like a little bit of money for something, or money comes in, like the money will show up for you. Yeah, Jerry rigging it. Yeah, exactly, Christopher. Jerry rigging it. That's exactly it. Yeah, it can't be Jerry. Can't be doing that. We're going to really fix things. So the money will be there. The little things that need to be done, the little things are going to turn into big things, Lexi, if you don't take care of them now. You've got to take care of them now. All right. And so I'm choosing Rihanna. Rihanna Auger. I have to go with Rihanna. If you're still here, you are so welcome. I'm just like, it is pulling at me. It is calling me in. And so if you're still here, Rihanna, I have to go with you. You're the person who's coming up for me. And okay. I don't know, Rihanna, if you keep saying, am I cursed or are we cursed? I don't know where that comes in. It's like, no, you're not cursed. People make bad choices. No, you're not cursed. People make bad choices. And there's been a lot of wrong choices and a lot of wrong decisions made by people who are in your life. And you have been making a lot of right choices, or trying to make a lot of right choices and do things right. You have to keep moving forward and keep moving forward for you and for all the right reasons. And I just feel like I'm really stepping into a sense of like you being surrounded by guardians. Like these people that are around you, they're like guardians. And this is like a strong sense of like, I feel like it's like this would be mom energy. And it's just like, no. Like it's like strong authority of female energy, female authority, like in charge, in authority. And she just like, it's not you making wrong choices. It is people around you that make the wrong choices and make the wrong decisions. And then it comes at a cost to it comes at a cost. Like you're paying, you're the one who's feeling like you're paying the price for some shitty wrong decisions that other people make. So, but we're moving into 2025. It is a 9-year in numerology. And it's where you start to really step back into your power, but it is time for a great awakening for you. I feel like you're coming into your own this year. You're moving into your own. You are coming up and into your truth. And I just feel like it's a comeback or a turnaround year for you, where things are going to turn around. I feel like someone's like literally picking us up like this. And you're like being picked up out of shit and says, look in the mirror, look in the reflection, look what you have done right. Look what you're doing right. look what they have, look how they have approached things. They never solved a problem, they created more problems. There wasn't a solution. It was something that just left behind more hurt. And so it has always been this remnants of hurt that a, has been kind of trailing in your story. And now it's like I have the Delilah story, right? I'm like, and so it's like you're coming up out of the weeds, but you're creating your life. You're creating what it is you want in your life. And so whoever this authority is, it's like, I just actually had my cousin post something today, and of course we're Mi'kmaq First Nations, and she posted about the matriarchs of our family in the Indigenous culture, and not patriarch, like, or not the hierarchy of patriarchal, not in that world, but in matriarchs, the healers, the storytellers, the crone, like the wise woman, the healer energy. And that you've had that person in your life. You have those people in your life, and that person is there for you and is still there for you, even if they're now your guardian, they're your spirit guide. They're still there, but you hold the power to become one of those in the future. That's the legacy, that's the light, that's the life that you're supposed to be here to follow. So it's not about what you're doing wrong. Is you got to keep seeing that you're doing the right things to move forward, and you have to keep moving forward with that. So you're being empowered, you're being pushed forward, and you're being placed into this powerful energy that just says, this is my life. And I'm going to live my life for me, my truest life. And that's what you're here to do. And I'm like, it's just like a hand just slams down and says, I will not allow you, is what it feels like. I feel the authority of this. I will not allow you to be a victim to this anymore. This is where you are rising up. And so 2025, my girl, is where my girl, they just called you my girl. My girl, they just called you my girl. So this is where in 2025, my girl, you get to have your comeback. You get to rise back up. Don't you back down. Don't you go backwards. You are only here to go forward from here on in.
Well, just to put that into lock it down, I guess, I pulled the card, it's time to move forward. So this little body here has the moon, the heart center is opening up. So so opening up that heart and being able to move in. And the next card that came with that was trust in the wise spirit, and your prayers will be answered. So opening up that heart, trusting out to all that is available to you. And I pulled from another deck as well, and I got Archangel Phanuel. I think that's how you say it. And it's optimism and hope. So what I heard was it's time to renew that optimism and hope that is within you, because if we need hope, we need optimism, and just know that there was so many lessons in the past that you have learned to take into the next year with you. So renewing that optimism and hope, opening up that heart center, really learning to be able to trust in the universe. Like this little being here is just reaching out, way out into the universe with loving arms. So call upon this Archangel Phanuel.
Okay. Thank you. And so can we choose somebody in particular now? Can you go with, and I want you to start this. Can we go with Danielle? Danielle, is it Perry?
You have someone through, but you need more time?
What? Well, yeah, I know. I want you to start it. I was on here the other night with Danielle. And so I came in the other night. It was right when Danielle needed me to come in. And so I don't know the whole backstory. I just know she's going through, I know she just lost somebody. And so I just want to see what we have. I just want to see what message we get for her.
Okay. I'm going with past life energy deck.
Yes, Felicia, that is your mom.
Danielle is Felicia's mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Rihanna, you are so welcome, Rihanna.
Spirit. Thank you. All right, Danielle. So what I have coming through, I have Archangel Phanuel again. So optimism and hope. So you need to bring this. You had a lot of this in past lives. And you need to bring this forward into this life. So renewing that optimism and hope, and again too. And I don't know, that just totally stammered out there. But I also have, there's something past life family coming through that there may have been some loss there, and you were needing to call upon Archangel Michael for some courage and letting it go. So there's some stuff coming through for you to do with family. I feel like you were the child in this life, and so you have something coming through that you have some resentment or anger or something towards a parent is what I'm hearing. And you don't know why. You have no idea why, but that's because it's not even this lifetime that you're carrying this forward. And that's where the Archangel Michael comes through. So when you're feeling these feelings about the parent, I'm not sure if your parents are alive or not, or if they're alive or not alive, but you have some healing that has to go around this past life trauma. And that's where you're supposed to call upon Archangel Michael and ask him for the strength and courage to let it go. And also to surround you with protection to help you in today with those feelings, because you have the feelings today. So you're needing help and protection to pull, like, it's like you have to let it go. That's what I'm hearing. Like, you just have to let it go. And it's going to take some devotion to do that. So spiritual practices, again, like meditating, and of course, back to the prayer at the beginning, and using your intuition a lot on these things. So, when you have that upset towards, or that feeling towards somebody, kind of asking, is this from this life or not from this life? And really listening to your body and what it has to say to move forward. So you are we have Archangel Phanuel calling on them to help you with the optimism and the hope to be able to push forward. And then, of course, the strength and the courage to let it go. And I'm hearing the let it go, let it go. So much music today.
So her dad has passed. So her dad would probably definitely be resonating to that story. Like, yes,
Okay.
somehow, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And
I
so
hope that helps.
And so I feel like this is like I feel like your heart has finally been broken wide open, and you're being forced into healing that you haven't had time to heal, or that you just haven't healed. But so I keep getting this sense of family, but not family. Family, like, but not family. Almost like I'm picking up like a stepchild, or like a child. I keep getting like a child, like a person in your life. I keep drawing rings, like some sort of chains or rings, something that would have chained or connected you together, and having that connection. And as soon as I asked Michelle to start reading for you, I start getting like a real pain in my neck. Like, my neck started to hurt, and I felt like my neck was like snapping. So, like, I don't know if that's stress or where that's coming in. And so, sun. So sun. Okay. So this is sun. Is this your son?
It says Matt's sons.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I got no glasses on. Oh, Jordan, Matt's son. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, okay. And so, like a son to you, is it like a son to you? And I just feel like, so it's like somehow very connected and very related to you, Matt's son. Okay. And it was his son her stepson. Okay, yeah, because I'm okay. Thank you. I'm like, it feels like it is like a child, like a stepchild. I keep picking up, I keep coming in, and I feel like it's like there was some sort of rings or some sort of chain that would have connected you to this person that would have passed. Um and so this passing, and I just feel like he almost don't want, like almost like they don't want to bring all the details in, and so they're giving me, I got bits and pieces. So I have the stepson, I have the son, I have family but not a family. You couldn't fix it and you couldn't change this chained story, but you were always chained to this man. So you were always connected to this man. So this would have been your ex, right? um and so you would have been connected to this man. And he tells me, like, I don't know if at one point you talked about, like, I don't know if you were ever really married to him or if you lived common law with him. And I just, because he's showing me rings, but the rings are broken, they're not really connected, which shows me that he is somebody of that was in your life, not in your life, but he is
Corrie, so she said Matt took his life on Thursday. We are sorry to hear that.
oh, I'm so sorry. 17 years. Okay. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Danielle. I'm like, this feels so, I'm feeling this overwhelming like sense of almost like he can't get everything out. I can't get things out. I can't get things out. And so I just feel like there's so much to say, and there's so much that there's so many pieces to this, and there's so much that he struggled with, and so many challenges that he had. And a lot of this you could not fix. And I don't know where there was a dog involved in this. And I feel like somehow there's either a dog on the other side with him, or there is a dog that was involved in the relationship itself. But I get like a big chested dog. And he's showing me like I'm seeing a big chested dog along with this man. Okay. And you feel short of breath since he passed. All right. And so I'm really getting this. Why? Why? I keep why? So is his son still here? Like your stepson, is he still here? Okay, so is his son still here? We have 3 on the other side. Right. Okay. So you have been asking why. And so I'm asking, he's still here. Okay. And so are you somehow like connected to him, or still next to him, or still very involved with him? Because what he's telling me is something about you being with his son, or you taking care of his son, or you being there. And so yeah. And so there was some struggles in his life. He had some challenges, and I don't know if, and I don't want to dive deep into this part, but I don't know if he had some debts or some unresolved issues that he just felt like he could not resolve, or that he could not get through. I'm telling you, he's very weak. Like, it's a very weak connection. It is not our strong. Oh, he picked you up last night. Okay. Because he's just shown me your connection to his son, and this guy being like I think he's asking for you to care for him, for you to be in his life, for you to take care of him. His journey is over. She flew from Ontario to Alberta to be with his son and help. Okay. So he's thanking you for that. That's the stepson. Okay. He's thanking you for being there. I know you didn't make this work, but he never stopped loving you. Whatever that is, he never stopped loving you. I'm just like, I want to sing that song. And so there's a lot of details to be worked out, but you have to let go of thinking that you could have done anything different. He had his mind made up for a while. Oh, okay. I'm sitting in our home. Okay. And so this is where some of the financial things, I guess, come in. And so just know that he is listening, that he is watching. He don't want you to struggle. I feel like he didn't want to leave behind the hurt and the pain. He didn't want anyone to feel that hurt, that pain. And so tell me this. I keep getting the dog. What's with the dog? What's with the dog? Was there a big dog at some point, or a big chested dog? Like I'm like, or is there a big dog that was involved in like the splitting up or the breaking up or something? He shows me a dog, and so I'm getting a dog, but he's thankful that you're there. Um, he was a pain in your ass. They have 3 dogs passed. Okay. So there's definitely dogs there. We have 3 dogs that have passed. Okay, because I'm getting the dogs. I'm like, he has company where he is, and he shows me a dog and he says, I am not alone over here. I have this, like, definitely one dog that I'm seeing for sure. And so you still have one. Okay. And so I'm seeing the dog over there with him. He has company over there. There's just so many, there's so much deeper to this, but this is nothing that is to be brought forward as of right now. This is still too fresh. The wounds are too fresh, but he just needs you to know that he is thankful that you are there, that you're doing the things to help his son, like a child, your stepson. I feel like your role in the children's life or in his kid's life will kind of grow from here. I don't think there's going to be a bit of time of working out the details and sorting things out. But he's going to guide you through that. He's going to guide you through doing all of this, and you'll know exactly what to do as you're making those decisions. So it's kind of him in your ears, helping you make those choices and those decisions. My heart is aching, and I feel this like overwhelming, I can't breathe. So I have to leave the connection because I'm feeling you and I can't breathe. I can't catch my breath in this. So I'm going to leave the connection, but we're bringing in the light and the prayers and what the strength that is needed for this time to get through this. And so know that you're doing all the right things, because he is in your ears and he's guiding you. He always knew you would be the one to step up and to step in, and to be there. He always knew that. So he's there. He's definitely there on the other side. His pain is done. He knows that he's left behind a lot of pain. So I send you so much love, Danielle. Thank you. Yes, this song would so make sense. The Hurt song, the 9-Inch Nail song, or Johnny Cash song. Listen to the Johnny Cash version. I'm telling you, it makes so much sense to everything is here tonight. So, yeah. I got a pain in my head at the moment, Danielle. Like, and I don't know what's with his neck. My neck keeps hurting. So I don't know if he also had some body pain, like if he was struggling with pain in his body as well, or what this is, but my neck. So, but I don't want to go into big details. This is a wide open space. So I feel like he wants to keep some of it private and quiet. So I respect that.
You want me to pick somebody?
Yeah. Okay,
right.
Thanks, Danielle.
All righty. So I have Christy Mercer. Are you still here? Christy Mercer.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. And I'm just gonna delete that comment, Felicia.
Christy, you are here.
I have my prayer candles going over here, Danielle. So I'm going to keep this burning all night. And I will leave my prayer candle lit all night for you. Yeah. So, but that was confirmation, Felicia. And that was what thank you.
All right, Christy. So what I have is for you, I have a sense of you're shaking. Something is shaking. It's like your world is shaking. Everything is really shaky right now. That's actually the second card I pulled, but the first one is the spiritual hug. So everything is kind of like, it's like you're on a dock, and those docks, that those floaty plastic ones, when you walk on them, they kind of are like this, and you feel like you're constantly moving and shaking like that. And all your loved ones on the other side want you to know that they are right now around you, giving you a spiritual hug. And it's the second card is, if the world around you seems turbulent, stop. So there's some avoidance happening here, or escapism. So you're keeping busy to not pay attention to the details that need to be dealt with right now. And so you are being told that you have to stop and actually pay attention to very fine details, is what I'm hearing. I am not a detailed person, so I'm really terrible at that stuff, but you have to, like, I keep seeing like bringing it down to the last dot. Like, it's like you're crossing T's and dots, and maybe you're signing some papers or something like that. Tears are flowing already. Okay. So something has shifted and changed. I feel like there is like a contracts, or you have, I feel like there's some legality to this. And you're shattering and falling away from being aligned and into your very own self. So time to stop, and just, you're also being told that you can only deal with what you can control at the moment. Lots of it you can't control right now, and you need time in order to put those things in. So that's where the fine details come in, is taking it step by step, small step by step. And then the next card I have on that is, you have the power to make yourself better. So by sitting and stopping and, realizing that you're panicking and jumping ahead of yourself isn't doing you any good. You are causing yourself so much anxiety. That's what the shaking is. There's a lot of anxiety right now coming through for you. And yes, I feel like you do have that, something you have to deal with, legal contract, really getting contract. But with that being said, crossing your T's and dotting your I's, I look at the bottom of the deck, and it's time to move forward. So it's that heart-centered again. So definitely dealing with, matters of the heart. And, oh yes, just went through a divorce. Okay. I didn't want to throw it out there, but okay. That's what I was feeling. That's where when the heart came in. Don't have legal things taken care of except custody of my kids. Okay. So yes, so there's a lot of anxiety around this. Your family members are telling you it is going to be okay. You are going to be okay. You can do this. You have that power to make yourself better. And your heart's closed off, but you're also being told to open that up again too, throwing it out into the universe. Everything that you want, you will get as you should receive it, right? And again, bringing up that vibration to match what it is that you want to happen or come true into your future. And the anxiety of you is actually bringing your vibration down. So that's where you can make yourself better. So anxiety is low vibrating. You need to bring it up to love, and bringing hope and love and optimism. I'm getting that word again today too, into this. Yeah, that's what I got for you.
So, Christy, I feel like I pulled from the old fairy deck, stand your ground, and stay standing your ground. And that really truly means for me is really stand in your truth. So, sometimes we let unnecessary worry stand in the way. You know who you are as a woman, you know who you are as a mom, and let nothing stand in your way of that. And so there's what you bring in love, and that you moving forward with your life, you getting your life back, and you stepping into living your life as a single woman is never going to jeopardize your relationship with you, of you and your children. Your children are going to be by your side. Your children are always going to be by your side. Your children are going to be there. And so it's like there is a cooling period or a shift of where I feel like the other person begins to move on, but it's also where you begin to move into the relationship with yourself. Now, the card that I first pulled was from my Want to Know a Secret to a Life of More Than Existing. So, this is the card that you got. It's like hearing Corey's voice in your head. And so, your relationship with yourself reigns supreme. Why? Because the one person you are stuck with is you. So, you better start making friends with all aspects of yourself because you are your own worst enemy. And so you, through this process of grief and change in your life, is you have lost you've lost this aspects of yourself that you're trying to get back, but you're never meant to get that back. You're never meant to get back those old versions. They're gone now. That version of you needs to go to, it needs to rest, it needs to sleep. And coming in is the parts of you to get to know, the parts of you you are yet to know. And so this is where you're moving into beginning to a relationship with you and on a deeper level. And it's like, it's about, and I just heard so loud, it's about time, it's about you. It's about time that it's about you. And so you have to make it about you, and you have to make things about you. And that worry is unnecessary. This is where let grace take care of things. Things are going to resolve itself. Things are always kind of working itself out for you. And you have the biggest protector on the other side. So, strong shoulders. And so give your worries to the strong shoulders of the love you have on the other side, because he can carry that for you. He can definitely carry that for you. Um, and I do get, and I know this is might sound so far out there for you, but there's a there's a new life coming in for you. And I'm like, I don't have a timeline for you, but I did, and it's not that I'm seeing a person, is I'm seeing the energy, and I'm seeing the energy of like, uh, I want to say it looks really like iridescent-y, soft pink. So somebody is coming in to help you soften your heart, and your heart is going to soften, even though you might not want it to soften. You might not want this person to show up in your life, but there is going to be that kind of person. I feel like you have a lot of common interest, or that you might even work in common ground, like common work somehow. You both feel like you have a similarity, something that connects you. And so there is that energy that's beginning to come into your energy. And so it's entering back in. And so there is love is in the air for the future for you. And it's like, but it's here to teach you about friendship and trust and being able to trust first. I have a new man in my life. He's good to me. He's a beautiful soul. And I just adore him. Okay. So he is so you so he's beautiful and he's wonderful, but have you fully let him into your heart? Have you fully opened up your heart to him? Because he's coming in, like the energy of him is still coming in, so the relationship is still building. So I'm feeling the love, and I feel like this might be something long term. It feels like it's something that might be really stable, but he is not your past at all. So I feel like you're moving from adoring him into loving him. And so it is moving through. And I did pull the romantic partner card. And so it's I haven't. We had just had that conversation tonight. That's wild. Okay, see? Ah. So your little brother hears you, because it is about you, because you have not let him into your heart. You have not fully let him in because you're afraid. And so this is about you opening up to him and about letting him in. And I'm on fire here. And so this is healing. So this is a time of great healing for you. And this love will heal a lot of things for you and through you. So love is in your life. Let it in. Why not? What is wrong with you being in love? What is wrong with you being cared for? You deserve this. And so, yeah, and just spirit is guiding you towards love and happiness, and show yourself a little bit of grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. Afraid to get hurt again. So if you keep So if you keep bringing your past into this relationship, then you are just adding the face of your exes of your past relationship onto the face of this person. So it's a self prophecy. You will sabotage it because you hold on to that what if. But it's nothing of this scenario is the same. Not a damn thing of this scenario is the same, other than it's two men, but it's not the same person. There is nothing the same. So it is about breaking free of that and letting that story go and starting over. You are a new person. This is a new person in your life. You're not even the person that was in your last relationship. So it's about you getting to know you, and then you also getting to know each other and opening up your heart to allow it. That's what we have for you. I hope that helps you in some way. Yeah.
Your pick.
Oh. I'm just sitting back here, just a chilling.
Mm-hmm. Before Corrie went into the talking about the new life, I had a sense of falling backwards, but it fell into something soft. So it wasn't just like falling hard. I was like, whoa, I feel like I'm falling backwards. And it was just a nice soft landing.
Right. And hello to everyone who's new, who's coming in here. It's so nice to see all the new little faces in the circles. And and we are YouTube and Facebook. We're broadcasting on both at the same time. So if you're not seeing the comments on one or the other, it is because the comments don't share across from Facebook and YouTube. It's only the video that goes across. So you'll hear us talking to people and you don't see it. So we're on both. Okay. I feel like I am powering down, but we want to go with one more. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you have someone that you're being called towards? Okay. No one in particular standing out to you?
Actually, Paul? Yeah. Is Paul still here?
Yeah.
He just commented again, so he must.
Paul Seraphin, is it?
Yeah.
I have no glasses, guys.
She has been pulling cards from her new deck.
From a new deck. I have been pulling cards from for the collective energy. Yes.
Collective.
Yeah. So I can't. This box is sealed, but the new cards, and so both decks of my cards are available on the website. So if you go to the website, you can purchase both cards. And so this is the newest deck, and it's actually like a matchbox style. So this is the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, and this comes with the big book with the big print. This is just like this is a divination. This is like the the bread boxes back in the day that had like the little Bible verses in it. Well, this is like the more than existing bread box, but it's a matchbox. So it's like a matchbox shape. So it just slides open, and so you can keep it just open. And you can pull the cards. So both are available on the website. So if you go to my website, you can get both decks. And then all the cards.
If you're not into pulling like these kinds of cards, like you don't want to do the whole, divination thing or whatever.
Paul, we're coming to you.
Those are cool. Like they're very cool to give you daily guidance.
And then all three books are available on the website and also available on. The books are on Amazon. So the books are on Amazon and they are on the website, but the cards are not on Amazon. The cards are only available through the website, and we do ship anywhere in the world. And so we have The More Than Existing is the first book. My second book is My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. And my third book is called Wine and Chips. And they're all the journey through healing. I don't tell you how to. I share the experience and tell you, listen, you're not freaking alone. We're all in this journey together. Is like we all have our moments, and Wine and Chips book is definitely a very different kind of read. And so I'll talk about it a little bit more after we read Paul's cards. So Miss Lindsay. So, Paul.
All right, Paul. Oh, geez. Got some excitement coming in, man. So first card I have is Treasure Island. So you are going searching for something. There's something that you need to go find. This is very adventurous, very exciting. And I'm looking at the turtle and I'm like, you're not to rush this. You're supposed to take this and you're supposed to take your time with this treasure hunt, this adventure. Because I have all that glitters and it's upside down. So if you try to rush this, you're going to walk right past the magic. So definitely, you know, taking your time with this adventure, moving along. But at the same time, I have the card that says tick tock. It's not telling you to hurry up. This is actually clocks are something very significant to you. And the number that popped out to me was 15 and the actual card is 30. So, I mean, 15 times 15 is 30, right? Or 15 plus 15 is 30. So what I'm getting from that is there is clocks that are significant. Maybe you're looking for a family heirloom or something like that, like a pocket watch or something, or I don't know. I feel like clocks are very, very significant, as well as the number 15 and 30. So, and 14 stands out as well. Oh, and then we have number 15, the card 15, message in a bottle. So I feel like exciting times are coming. Like something is, you're looking for it, but at the same time, I get the sense that it is going to fall into your lap. So I'm amazed that you picked me.
I know, poor Paul. He's here often, and he's never gotten. I think maybe got chosen once way back when. I'm not even sure where you live, Paul. Like, tell us where you're from.
We want your address too. Just kidding.
No,
just kidding. Yeah, they are beautiful cards. So yeah, so very much adventure is coming for you. Remember the number 15. 15 is significant. 36, because 1 plus 5 is 6. So 6, 15, and 30 are numbers. I feel the enthusiasm. And at the same time is don't jump too far ahead, because we need to keep you still in the here and now. And we want you here on Earth. So something exciting. I'm very excited. Like I feel like super jacked.
Los Angeles.
Oh, that's exciting. That's fun. Yeah. So definitely an adventure is coming. And it's like you have little bits and pieces and little hints coming up everywhere. And this is guiding you to exactly where you need to go. But a message does come through to it. I feel like a message in a bottle comes through. 15, 6, and 30. You got to remember that.
Okay. So I did pull a major arcana card, and so which is major life events. There is major life events happening. Things are changing for you. Things are happening, and there is an enthusiasm to this. There's an excitement to this. And I don't know if you are some sort of like, if you're an artist or you do some sort of artistry, I just feel this creative energy around you and really truly intuitively working, like somehow doing some sort of like intuitive artwork or to intuitive creation and just trusting your intuition. But I feel like, Paul, like wherever you are and however you show up, you have to show up as that creative artistic version of yourself. For some reason, I'm picking up February for you, and February being like when you start to see the tides of change happening with this Pluto and Aquarius energy, with this new energy, this age of Aquarius energy. It's like it's not really the beginning of January. It's not when you're seeing the change. It feels like this is coming into February, March. Like you may have to kind of ride through a little bit of wave with this. But I am picking up. So it was the High Priestess is what I pulled, that real strong spiritual connection. And I don't know who you would have had in your life that was very tied to like the rosary, Catholic, but it feels very like rosary type. Like I'm seeing the rosary, I'm seeing that big connection. And I'm seeing like some sort of like stay connected to your spirituality or to spiritualism. And so there is some sort of connection to rosaries that are coming up for me. And I'm also picking up you have, I feel like this is either they call themselves a brother, but I don't know if they're actually a brother to you. I feel like it could be, the term brother. That's my brother. That's my buddy. That's my friend. I feel like that's the kind of like you have somebody coming through that is a brother to you in that way. And I feel like they are inspiring you and they're encouraging you. And they show me some sort of like painting or doing some sort of creative or artistic work themselves, but they were high energy and they had big dreams and they never got to live their dreams. And what they're telling you is that you have to live your dreams. Like live for those people that you loved, live for those people who are on the other side that are connected to you. Live your best life for them and for yourself because there is, I don't know, I feel like it's your time, like it's really your time to really shine in your own light and not in the shadows of anyone else, but in your light, and to stay in your light and to stay in your truth, because you're not here to you're being seen now. You're being seen for who you really are, and not kind of blending or hiding back. Like it's time for you to come forward in your dreams or in that goals that you had. And it's like time to start making those happen. And that's what I have for you, Paul.
Woo.
Yeah. And yes, Jenna, I do have new cards. So I hope that helps you, Paul, or hope that resonates with you. But that's what we got for you. So we'll end with a collective. The messages are amazing, so amazing. Good. I'm glad they're amazing for you. So we'll end with a collective card, and I'll pull from Want to Know a Secret just for Lindsay.
I'm gonna do the same.
You got yours too?
Yep.
All right. And we'll be back again to do more readings. We were doing this pretty often. Thank you, Paul. And we were doing this pretty often, and then we didn't. And we do work side by side in live events as well. And we will be back doing some live events throughout Alberta. And for all my Newfoundland people, I'm coming back. I'm coming back in the spring. My daughter and my grandchildren and my son-in-law, they live in Newfoundland now, but I'm coming back, and I promised the people of Stephenville I would go to Stephenville. So I'm going to Stephenville for sure. I'm still going to do all the other places. I just don't know if I'll go to Gander this year. I'm not sure, but I will be coming back to Newfoundland I'm thinking May is when I'm thinking about coming, but I'm going to start arranging all the hotels and all the locations. So I'm going to start doing that coming up in the new year. And yeah, so I will be there for a while. I will be back. I will definitely be back to Grand Falls. There's no doubt I'll be back to Grand Falls. I've been to Grand Falls like this several times now, so it'll be a return. Okay, so from the Want to Know a Secret, we are pulling card number 35. And so all the cards are all writings. There's no booklet. It's easy peasy. They just might kick your butt a little bit. So doubting your actions. So for all of you doubting your actions, here's a tool you may feel inclined to use. If you're questioning whether you have made the right decision, chances are you have taken the wrong approach. But don't worry, there is a solution. Correct your actions or your responses, and you'll never have to doubt again.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so we doubt ourselves because we really don't trust. We don't trust in ourselves. And so it's so hard to be able to trust ourselves because we are so used to going against ourselves and not going with ourselves. We fall away. And so how we approach things is not to, so when you know that you make a right choice and make a call that, yeah, it might not make everyone happy, but you have to do something, and it's something that you feel the call to do it. And then you're like, yes, this is what I need to do. And so then after doubt comes in, you go, oh, did I make the right choice? And then you run around asking people's opinions, and then everyone gives you all these opinions, but you knew what was right in the beginning. And so when you learn to trust, when you learn to heal the instinctual self, the intuitive self is able to make the right choices and decisions for you.
So mine follows up with number 8, trust your gut. And it says, trust your gut. The power of intuition doesn't require evidence. It's based on the trust and faith. You have to pull one more card I heard too. I have to read my two and then you have to pull another one. I'm trusting my
I'll
gut.
pull from the goddesses.
You might be disregarding a truth that your gut is trying to tell you, causing your body to feel uneasy. Listen to your instincts and trust your intuition. The best thing you can do is trust your intuition and learn to feel in your body, your intuition, all that stuff. Play games with yourself. The yes and no game. You know, is this for me yes or is it for me no? So practicing all that stuff and learning to trust your instincts, because so many of us have been pulled away from that. And then I have number 15, Paul. Your relationship with yourself reigns supreme. Why? Because the one person you are stuck with is you. So you better start making friends with all aspects of yourself. I know we talked about raising your vibration, and when you begin to actually truly love yourself, and I mean by truly loving yourself, your whole body will feel light. You don't have that pit in your stomach. So if you say, I do love myself, but there's still that pit in the stomach, there's a but in there. So definitely learning to love yourself brings yourself up higher vibration.
And so the little voice in the background that's writing here, Lindsay and Michelle, are both graduates of everything of More Than Existing, everything of the mediumship, everything that I think I teach, every angel course. These two are it. Like, and Lindsay also owns a metaphysical store in a little witchery store in Drumheller, in Drumheller, Alberta. So Lindsay says, I love the fact that the card is 35 equals 8, which doubt blocks abundance. Exactly. Glad you got that, Lindsay, right? Doubt blocks abundance. And so, and another 8. And so the card that I pulled from the Everyday Goddess. And so if you're a man that's here, the Everyday Goddesses is about feminine energy. It doesn't mean that the cards are all that a man can't get a card chosen from the Everyday Goddess. It's about the feminine energy. And we all have masculine and we all have feminine energy. And so this is card number 16. And this is in mother energy. So this is in nurturing. And we know so much about so much, but we also, there's a whole lot we don't know, right? And so it is smoke and mirrors. And this is Mayara, I can't even get her name out. Mayara, blah. And so she is, it's easy to see her in the image. It's easy to see her reflection. Now, we can't see what's in her mind. We can't see what she's thinking, but we can see an image of what she is looking at. A big part of the journey has been about breaking through the veils of illusions. And when we can break through the veils of illusions, we actually break free from the doubt. We begin to be able to trust ourselves. But one of the things that are here is this cat. And so the spirit of the cat, look at a cat. Look what a cat can do. A cat is confident. And it's not that it has to be taught how to be confident. It is naturally confident because it knows that it can trust itself because it is equipped with all that it needs to do what it needs to do. The other thing in here is the print, and it's like thumbprints in the heart. And we all have an authentic thumbprint. We all have the authenticity of ourselves. But yet that authenticity is just not enough. We don't like the authenticity. We don't like the way we are. So we think we have to change it. But where did we get the thought that we shouldn't like what we are? Where did we get the thought that we need to be something more or do something more? Usually from conditioning programming or from being hurt and from those hurt stories. And so when our hurts and our fears, our false evidence appearing real, the acronym of fear is leading our life and leading the way, we're usually going the way that is blocking the most important things that we actually need. And when our unhealthy wants or we're feeding that hungry ghost is what's guiding us, is that we are never seeing that the solution to everything that we want is right in front of us and that is with us. And that is in us and in the choices that we choose to make and in how we see things, the perspective. And so Mandy, 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 you got the go back to some of your classes and go back to your tools, Mandy. I go back there. And so, but is a filler word, right? But is the filler word. And so, Mandy, you question, right? And so, Lindsay is teaching over here. So you keep teaching away. Mandy, read Lindsay's comment because she's teaching you some of those tools. And so, asking yourself why. What is my why? And I want everyone to sit with this for coming into the new year. What is my big why and what is my little whys? And sometimes when you start to see your whys are like the little master manipulator inside of us that is motivating from a place of fear, we recognize that we're manifesting all of everything and the wrong kind of people because we're manifesting from fear. We're manifesting from an old narrative, an old story. But when we get to the truth of the why, we start to get to the bigger energy. We get to the bigger truth, which means radical honesty, radical self-truth. We have to know that of ourselves, right? And so a whole part of myself, and I say, oh, but I don't need that. I don't want that. That's okay. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need anything good. And I'm like, no, I do want it and I do need it. But I was so used to just settling for less than that I would accept less than because that was a conditioning and a programming that have flowed through and it had followed through my whole life. And so it's like, no, maybe I don't need it. Maybe I don't need all the things, but maybe I want it. Maybe I want something to say that for myself, to just say, I'm worth having good things, or I'm worth having love in my life. I'm worth having quality in my life. I'm worth, right? And so it's about quality and not quantity sometimes. So sometimes those buts, you got to dive deep into that butt, Mandy. You need to dive deep into that. I feel like that butt is a bigger narrative than where we are originally looking.
Sometimes what I do is, and this goes with everything, and it's not just about like the love of myself, but when a shitty thought comes through and you don't want to have that shitty thought, again, you're putting that out into the universe. I say to myself, I choose again, and I rethink my thought. So your brain starts to train to go to the good thoughts as opposed to the bad. So it's just, I choose again. And so when you're like, say something you don't like about yourself that day, and you're like, oh, I feel like I look really shitty, I choose again. I look very good today.
So neurolinguistics programming. And so that's good teaching, girls. I'm so proud of you. So far. And so neurolinguistics programming, and what we do is we build new neural pathways. So we can't keep traveling the same track, the same path, and expect something different and to get to a different destination. If you keep traveling the same path, you keep getting to the same destination. You're going to end up in the same location with the same thought. And so often what I'll say is like, when your doubt, the negative is not going to go away. The negative just loses its power. And so what you're saying to it is, that's not true. That's not a truth. So when you tell yourself even something about someone in the past and you go, oh, but I so love that. They were so good. And I'm like, okay, if they were so freaking good, why did they do this? And why did they do that? And so if they were so good for me, then they would have done good things for us. Right. And so that's where we get to deeper truths. You've got to learn how to be honest and radically honest with yourself instead of existing and creating the fantasy and the lies, half-hearted truths, I call it. So in the second book, it's My Truth of Existing Beyond Reflection. The statement literally is that we accept half-hearted truths and lies as truth, just so that we can get what we want. And our wants are, oh my fucking God, the propulsion systems of our life. So you're not going to believe this. A big, ugly, dandy, with dangly long legs and wings just flew onto my light. It is winter here.
Weird.
It's a big yellowy thing. I don't know where it come from, but it just flew onto my light. I'm like, what is that? Where'd that just come from? So the new neural pathway is you got to travel a new path. right? You got to go a new way. So if there's a hole in the road, all those negative thoughts are there, you got to get to the good scenery. So take the scenic route, take the route that's full of green, that's full of positive and full of good things. And you will start to say, I don't want to go back that pathway anymore. I don't want to go back that way. I want to go this way. And so it is going this way so that you can avoid falling back into the trap and into the hole. And so it's not a truth. So you got to tell yourself the real truth so you don't create the fantasies in your head. And that begins to change. So, I mean, there's so much more to this. I could take this so much deeper, right? Psychology is, yes. And so I work a lot in archetypal energies and trauma coaching and all of those type of things that are a part of everything that we do. But neurolinguistics programming is one of it, spiral dynamics, your value, your worth, and that's all coming up. So more than existing level 1 is beginning again in January.
Hey.
And so there is a level 1 that's starting in January. And so if you're new and you want to come in, if you want to invest into you, so the key thing that we have to look at is a lot of times, even in spiritual work and all those places, and even as like counselors, psychologists, a lot of things about wanting to go in this to help other people. When you recognize that it is more about codependency than it is about being the healer, because it is about fixing and helping others, but yet we haven't helped ourselves. And so you have to look at the motives behind what you are doing and why you are doing it. And when you can break all that down, and that's why for several years I said I had to stop myself in my tracks and go, okay, I don't want to be the unhealed healer. Yes, I want, it's like you don't want to create this attachment style of I want everyone to be with me all the time and never leave me. I want people to think for themselves. I want people to form their own opinions. I want people to have their own thoughts, to have their own beliefs, to move beyond having to just live in that one way of being. And so really looking at codependency versus the need to the answering a call. And there's a massive difference in there.
Because I have done the more than existing twice or 3 times, twice. I think twice.
Yes, pull them out, Ben.
Done all levels twice, and each was from a different place, right? So, I mean, you're constantly it creates you to shift and move and change. And so I did it the first time. Then I did whatever else in between, and then you're in a different place. And then so when I kind of bounced around, I think the second time, but I went back and I did all the levels again. And I mean, I can't even speak how good that program is. Like it changed my life. It did. It changed my way of thinking. It changed so many things for me.
Right. It does. It changed my life. And I was the one who was blessed with the creation of it, and it came through me, it flowed through me, and there was only supposed to be a 6-month one level to it, and it ended up being a 4-level and a certification coaching program for people who want to take a whole series of that. And so I want to go back to that but for a minute. So how do I get rid of that but? Change your mind. Don't use but. It is really that simple. It's like, so because that's how we shame ourselves. So when our propulsion systems that are guiding us is fulfilling the wants to keep pushing ourselves, to shame ourselves into action or to guilt ourselves into action, the but is the second response. The but is the second response. And the second response goes back to the card about the doubt. And so it is just not even leave the but out. Leave the but out. The but is that fact of you create your own emotions, and you create a narrative and a story. Oh, but it's like, no, there is no oh, but. It just is. It just is. This is just where I am. This is just the way it is. This is just it. This is just how I have to do things. This is just the way it's going to be. This is just, and so it feels cold in the beginning. And it's because it is unfamiliar to guilt or shame yourself into doing something that goes against your highest good.
Change the word from but to ego.
So Michelle had an issue with the word when I give her a book to read way back, and I said, you need to read this book, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm good with that, like this book, but I have an issue and I just can't get past it. And I don't think I can finish reading that book. And I said, well, what's your issue? And she said, well, because she mentioned the word God and I don't like the word God. And I'm like, well, call it freaking Joe. And then just go ahead and keep reading the book. Joe says this or Joe does that. And she goes, oh. And by changing it to Joe and making that shift into Joe, she went from not just reading the book, she went from being not even wanting to like entertain any of the idea of my work and what I did, because we were hairdressers together, and into finding her way to sitting right there doing this work. So that's how that one shift begins a whole trail of changes in your life. It is a change. It's a ripple effect, and it's the ripple effect. And when the ripple effect begins to hit, that's when you start to kind of awaken to new truths. So every day you're just awakening to new truths. So that's what we're sharing with you. That's what we got. We could talk all night.
Yes,
we could sit here all night and talk and share this, but I have to get out of this chair. Yeah. And so, thank you all for being with us. We will be back, and we will have some dates of us being in Alberta doing our events as well coming out. More Than Existing is starting. The cards are available on the website. Books are available in Amazon. I'm just like so freaked out by that little freaking thing flying around over there. And there's a ladybug, and there's also a ladybug. So I got all kinds of little critters crawling around my house tonight. It's the fairies. See, the fairies came in. The underworld, the middle world is opened up. Don't even get me started on the fairies. That's a whole other ball game. I'm like, I can be all practical and serious, and then I can also be mystical and magical, and I can be like a kid. So yeah. And so I also want to acknowledge the snoring that's no longer with us, and that is little baby Sid. So for anyone who's just coming back in, hasn't been around since before Christmas, there is no little Sid here in physical form anymore. My Sydney has passed over into spirit world, and she passed away on December the 17th. And so we no longer have the snoring that always was in the videos. And yeah, so life has had many changes over here. Yes. And so, yeah, my creepies, I'm sure, Patricia, they have many messages for me. Thank you all for being here. It was a treat, a joy to be here. And I will talk to you soon. Much love.